All right, Daniel. A year ago, you were on this podcast and you were making $500,000 a month at 15. Now, it's a year later. How much money are you making?
Okay, so I'm 17 now, and across all my businesses, we're doing around $1 million a month in revenue.
Dude, this blows my mind. I just I tell people this in real life and they just don't believe it. So, the last podcast you were doing Snapchat shows
Yeah.
and you were running it up and you were just making short form content on Snapchat and they were paying you ad revenue.
Yeah.
But since then, you've switched to YouTube and you've kind of built this entire new system. So, what are you doing now?
Yeah, so after Snapchat completely died, I had to pivot to something else. I went from making 6 figures a month to pretty much like very low 5 figures, pretty much nothing compared to what I was making. And I'd always had experience in short form. I did Snapchat short form, so now I was going to pivot into something that I was good at, short form again. So I started YouTube Shorts, which were just another way to create these short videos. And they started paying like a couple thousand per month because the RPM started to go up. And so as I saw that there was like really money making potential here, I started to dive a bit deeper and deeper and deeper into it, eventually launching more channels that were actually making 5 figures a month again. With Snapchat, I was doing a side hustle. And I didn't want to do a side hustle again. I didn't want to fall into the same trap of having it all potentially go away because I felt as though I had enough experience now to dive into real business, which is when I met my partners, Musa, Liam, etc., where we thought of the idea for Creo. Creo was basically the solution to our problem with making short form videos, where it took us a long time to edit these videos. And if we hired out editors for them, the turnaround would be a long time. It was just not as efficient as we wanted it to be. So that's when we decided late 2023 to start building this software company out. And that was also whilst I was still running these short accounts. And so month after month, software company was being built. It was something that I had there. I was like, okay, this software company is being built. I don't know if it's going to do that much, but it's an asset that I guess I'm building now. We launch, first month, we do around 50K. Great money, but obviously I was making 6 figures with a side hustle. Month 2, we make 70K. Month 3, we make 150. Month 4, month 5, month 6. And now our software company is doing like 500 to 600 grand a month in revenue on very lean margins, like a very powerful company on top of the course that I released around YouTube Shorts. So I still do YouTube Shorts to this day, and I was doing it back then, and the channels were making like 10 to 15 grand a month. I remember when I talked to you on the first podcast, we were like a big advocate of if you're going to do a course, you practice what you preach. And I didn't want to do it if I didn't practice what I preach. That's what I was very skeptical about. And so the fact that I did shorts, I was like, okay, I'm kind of becoming a face of this business model because it hasn't really been exposed to people yet. And so I decided to go all in on running more shorts pages and actually start creating a program around it, which is when the YouTube portal released this year on top of software. So objectively now, I have a software company doing around 500 to 600 grand a month. And then I have a course doing multiple 6 figures a month as well, which equals to around $1 million, give or take or so, in revenue.
I feel like I corrupted you because I was encouraging you to sell a course because you were so good at what you were doing.
Yeah.
And it's a great way for people to make money. And so to summarize, the main way you're making money is through an AI software called Creo. It's creo.io.
Creo.ai.
AI?
Yeah.
Okay, creo.ai. That's doing $600,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then you've tacked on a coaching course program where you're teaching people how to make YouTube shorts, which is how you made all of your money previously, basically.
Exactly. Well, apart from Snapchat, after I had to pivot out, YouTube Shorts is where I started to get this side hustle income of like 10, 15 grand a month. And now, honestly, funnily enough, as I run the program and as I run the software company, I've never made more money from YouTube Shorts than I actively am right now, which is so funny to think about because I supposedly need to have the least amount of time right now, but I'm making like $600-700 a day with one of my accounts at the moment. And I have like multiple of these that make less. And yeah, it's honestly been like a pretty big uptrend right now in all the companies.
The reason I wanted to have you back on here is because obviously I talk about AI SaaS a lot, like finding an AI use case. And so let's just break down what the point of Creo is. Because so just to make this very clear for people, you were doing Snapchat. That was starting to fade out. We invited a lot of competition with the podcast because we gave away all the sauce. And then once you did that, you switched to YouTube Shorts. And YouTube, what's an ARP? So YouTube will pay you basically a certain amount for every 1,000 views you get.
Yeah, so the RPM, which is the amount they pay you per 1,000 views on Shorts right now, is anywhere from 15 to 25 cents.
Okay,
which is very competitive.
Yeah.
Versus platforms like TikTok, especially when on YouTube, it's a lot easier to get tons more views.
So if you get 1 million views, you make like $2,500.
You make 250 bucks on YouTube. But the thing is, it's a lot easier to get 1 million views on YouTube than it is on TikTok. A lot of beginners actually get like 1 million views in a video within their first 10 videos. Like, it's not something that's impossible. Whereas TikTok, it's more of a grind to do so. And with YouTube, the views last a lot longer. So you can post a video and it can be evergreen for months. Whereas TikTok, it pretty much dies out relatively quickly.
Okay, cool. So $250 for every 1 million views. It's much more achievable on YouTube and they last much longer.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, and so then you were doing this for yourself. You were making good money, 5 figures a month from that. Yeah. And then you basically decided to try to create a software that could help you make those faster.
100%.
And so you came up with Creo.ai. Yep. Explain how Creo works.
Yep. So Creo is a tool that makes it easy for people to make these short form videos. We have automation features that make it easy for you to have your subtitles, animations, music, text captions, all that good stuff. And those are the issues my partner and I, Musa, faced. He was doing TikTok, I was doing YouTube. And so we were in a similar space, but in kind of 2 different ecosystems. Yeah. But we faced the same problems. It was, how can we make our videos quicker? And so this is what we tried to solve with Creo. And as it's evolved, it's kind of turned into different things. I mean, Creo was originally meant to be a script writing tool. That's what we thought we wanted it to be at the beginning. But then we realized, to be honest, I kind of cross-referenced this with a few other companies. Amazon was created because Jeff Bezos wanted a way to buy books online because the brick and mortar stores didn't have all the selections. Steve Jobs created the Mac because he wanted to run things on a computer. And so I've just seen that the biggest companies have been created out of just a core issue that the founders faced. And so this is when Creo kind of popped into our heads as like the solution, because I wasn't going to look around at like a C point to entry or whatever. It's just, what was the problem that I was facing? I need to make videos quicker. Creo is the solution to that problem.
So if I remember correctly, first off, I remember we were talking about how you had script writers. You were doing all this manually on your team for Snapchat. Yeah. And then you guys were talking about how AI, like you're exploring AI things, and now you actually have built it. Yeah. And I think I've seen a comment on one of your channels, and it's so true. It's you as a human, when you have an idea to then taking action to then just blindly launching it, is like the time between those is like, feels like minutes. It's like you have an idea, then you're like, that works. 2 minutes later, you are literally building it, and then 2 minutes later, you launch it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's helped me with pretty much any business I've started, whether it's failed or succeeded, is just my time between idea to execution. It's been very low. I'll always act on an idea I have, because worst case it doesn't work and best case it does.
Like, if I have to boil down, that's like the only difference between people who make a lot of money and don't, is like you have the courage to, you do it quickly, like there's a sense of urgency, and then you have the courage to actually like try, where most people are like, they just like put it off to the next day, or like they want it to be perfect. So you're just all about action. And so with the product itself, you said it will do scripts, it'll do captions, but doesn't it also like generate, like if you wanted to, like if you got a script, you have a story, it will literally generate like images, like it'll literally, so you could literally make an entire faceless video.
We have like generative AI features on Creo as well that do that, and we've been optimizing those to be really insane. But also we adapt the tool based on what the industry is doing. And so there's a lot of niches in the industry that are just stronger than others. And so we adapt our tool to those users more, because that's where the most influx will come in. So right now, for example, tech stories are massive on TikTok and YouTube. It's where like these fake text conversations happen between 2 people. And we've just been optimizing to make that feature on our product specifically really amazing, which we've started to do.
Wait, so what is that? Like you like to have screen?
Yeah, it's like
people messaging back and forth.
Exactly. So it can be a funny conversations of like a couple talking, just anything that people make text conversations around is starting to blow up on these platforms. And I think maybe the niches maybe started to die down now, but regardless, that's where a lot of the uses we found of our users goes to. And so whenever we see something like that, when a large influx of users go towards one product on our software, we try to make that one as good as possible, because that's the way to make a really good product that a lot of people enjoy. Which has actually been really good for user feedback and like the quality that they go through when using Creo, you know?
So what do you think is that the main use case, or what do you think the most popular feature has been?
Honestly, I think our story video has been the most popular feature. It's where we pretty much generate an entire story for you. So what you can even do on Creo, which we recently added, is you can input another viral story and we'll rehash that viral story in a different way so that it still fits what the algo wanted, because you're giving another like context of what went viral, and we kind of remake it for you with the gameplay, with the animations, with a script that you can also tweak after we generate it for you.
Are there AI voiceovers?
Yes. There's like
sick.
SpongeBob, there's like real life voiceovers, and those are getting even more like, by the day we're adding more and more voices in.
Dude, and your guys' UI is so clean.
Yeah.
I love your tool because it's not like you just picked one AI API and just like made one simple use case. You found all the different, you got the generative images, you have the AI voiceovers, you have text, obviously.
Yeah.
You're using all of these different models and then combining them in the right way to create a specific type of short video. And it's genius. Dude.
You know, this kind of hurt us as well in the beginning because we use so many different like areas of injunction with like text and voiceover and all this stuff. We had to use like servers from other people we didn't own to run our software. And what happened was when they had an issue, our software would have an issue, and we would like take the hit, because even if it wasn't our fault, their servers would be down, it wouldn't work for us. So we've started to build a lot of things in-house as well now, which has kind of built a bigger asset for the company for when we want to sell it.
Yeah, it's definitely building a moat and enterprise value there. So how much is it to like generate an image or like generate one of these for, like how much does it cost you guys?
I can't really say that because we have like some private deals and stuff.
Okay, if you, what would be like the going rate if someone were to try to do that? Can you say that?
Yeah, I think it would be like 10 to 50 cents to generate an image normally.
And then how much do you charge for the product?
A few credits. So basically when people buy the product, they get like an amount of credits.
Oh, okay.
So you pay a monthly subscription to use Creo, you get a certain amount of credits every single month. Your credits can go through exporting, they can go to generating subtitles, they can go to generating a story video. And it also depends on like the caliber of what you're making in your story, the amount of credits. It's very variable.
I want to point out two things of what makes your business so genius. One, people use it to make money. They are making these shorts. They are doing these stories that you're talking about to then post on TikTok and YouTube to then run up views and get paid. If they get 1 million views, they get $250. So one, why they use it is because it actively makes them money. It literally is what drives their business. Yeah. And then secondly, as their business scales, as they make more money, they need more videos. And to make more videos, they need to buy more credits. And so as their business scales, as they make more money, your business scales and you make more money. It's genius. Dude.
And that also ties back into my program, because if people are making money with Creo, they need to know how to make money with Creo. They need to know how to make the proper videos. And that's also a very big moat that I used in my program. So a lot of people sell courses. They sell programs on how to make money, but they have no incentivization to make sure the people that buy their programs make money. I quite literally need the people in my program to make money so that they can use my software, which also makes me more money in the back end. If people don't know how to make videos on YouTube, they will not use Creo because they'll have no use for it. Therefore, I lose at the end of the day.
I'm so fascinated about, you were saying that your first month you were 50,000, then you went to 70,000, then you went to 100,000 with Creo. And I'd really want to break down the anatomy of that marketing, but I just love how a course is used as a marketing engine to funnel people into a SaaS. Yeah. I think that is something that everyone overlooks. I think there's this weird stigma in the software world, since I'm in both the software and info world. Both sides have very opposite skill sets and approach to it, but you've bridged both and used them both strategically to grow your software business. It's genius. Like a lot of software people think that selling a course is scammy, or that people that sell courses aren't real entrepreneurs, but you actually use a course to run tons of paid ads, sell the course, break even, make money on the course, and then funnel those people into your software. And so it's like this paid media machine that can scale infinitely, and it's an absolute cheat code for marketing SaaS.
The goal here is to make it a school in a sense, that people get good at the skill I'm teaching so that they have a reason to use the product that I actually care about. I care about the school because it teaches people how to make money, but the real thing that's going to make me 50, 100, 150 million dollars is a software company. I'm never going to sell my program to anyone because I'm attached to it. It has no exit value. The only thing it can give me is cash flow, which is like a few $100,000 a month, which is great money, but I don't care about a few $100,000 a month simply because I really want to exit for 50, $100 million. That's like what I'm aiming for. That's my big play. And so if I don't make sure that people perform, my software company won't grow, as a matter of fact. So it kind of hurts me and the entire team as well. Musa also has a program, and his incentivization for people to do well is that they can use Creo consistently. And that's one of the forms of marketing we have. We've also literally never ran an ad to Creo ever. It's all been organic because me and Musa are just good marketers.
Musa basically makes content teaching people how to take streamers content, clip it, and do the same kind
And
of
he's
concept.
also adapted it into faceless TikTok content as well. So you know how I said I do faceless YouTube shorts?
Right.
He does streamer clips and faceless TikTok. So a really cool thing about Musa and I is that we're both the biggest in our own short form ecosystem.
Right.
He's the biggest on TikTok. I'm the biggest on YouTube. And together we partnered up to make the biggest software in the space, Creo. And so that's been the goal here, to turn it into hopefully a multi-9-figure company.